Yeah, I got punched, man. So this happened maybe 6 days ago on a Friday. I was just walking home from lunch. It was 3 p.m. And then this guy on a bike, he saw me, and then he just hopped off his bike and just threw the bike on the floor and came at really aggressively. At first, I thought he wanted a picture. You know, like, it's an...
Oh my God, Uncle Roger!
Hey, you want a selfie? So he just started coming at me and just started punching me. I was like, whoa. I was just blocking his shots because I was just so confused.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, what did we do? Like, who the fuck are you? Why are you punching me, man? And then he said, you know what you did. You know what you fucking did. That's all he said. He kept saying, you know what you did. And I don't know what I did, you know?
Yeah.
And I just kept blocking him. I think one of his punches connected with my lip, like lower lip here. You can't see the bruising anymore. It wasn't that bad to begin with. It just started bleeding a bit. So I was like, I just kept backing away and blocking his stuff as best I can. He kept saying, you know what you did, you know what you did. And then he punched me for a while. And then once he saw that there were two witnesses, two other people around, and I told him to call the police, help. I just yelled out, call the police, help. And then he noticed, oh shit, that other people around. So he just cycled away after that.
So you told me this right after it happened.
Yeah.
It was on the road to your house.
Yeah, on my street.
On your street. And you went home, you called the police, and then you texted me. Mm-hmm. And I called you. And what you said was like there were people around, but they didn't like do anything.
They didn't. They were just staring, but...
And I got so upset by that.
Well, one, just by the fact that they were there, I was very thankful already because the guy left. The aggressor left because they were there. Like, okay, shit, there are witnesses around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be recognized. Because I can't remember, like police asked me for a description, I can't remember anything. I remember his ethnicity. He was around my height. The thing is, he was around my height and my weight. I knew that because instinctually, I wasn't afraid because there wasn't a weight class difference. So if it's a big guy coming after you, then you'll be like fucking scared. But I was a little bit scared, but more confused and shocked than scared. So I knew like he was a bit on the slim side as well. So like thankfully, even though one of his punches connected, it wasn't that bad. That's all I remember. I remember he was wearing a white t-shirt with a print on it. And that's it, really. I don't even remember the color of his bicycle. I remember what direction he went in. But in hindsight, I should have stopped the two witnesses and be like, hey, don't leave yet. I need you to, make
statements.
Yeah, but, this is the first time something like that happened. And I was just in a bit of a shock. So I don't know. I just wanted to get home as fast as I can.
Yeah.
I think they saw that I was okay. I was still standing. I didn't fall to the ground or anything. I was bleeding a bit, but only when I opened my mouth, you can see that I was bleeding. So they probably thought that I was fine. So they just kind of... One of them was on a scooter, but the other one was on a bike. So the both witnesses kind of just went their own ways.
See, I mean, but that's still upsetting to me because it's like, say you see something and then you decide not to do anything. Okay, fine. But then after the aggressor leaves, why wouldn't you come up and be like, hey, dude, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Can I call the police?
Yeah, that would have been nice, actually.
Yeah, that's so upsetting that they didn't do anything. It's really upsetting. And it's like, some people say that it's as bad or even worse if you're witness to something and you don't intervene. And the thing is, okay, I understand. Maybe it's a situation, if it's scary and you don't want to risk getting, hurt yourself, fine. But it's so obvious when somebody's being assaulted, right? And you should step in. Yeah, it just upsets me because it's like when it's come to hate crimes against Asians during this pandemic, nobody stepped in.
Yeah, why? I mean, they just assume we can fight.
Well, that's the thing. And also, like,
I can't fight, man. I didn't even think punching back was a thing you could do. I was just trying to block right away,
But that's also the thing. If you're attacking an Asian person because of racism, why wouldn't you stop and think and be like, the most obvious stereotype, which is all of us know kung fu? Like, why wouldn't you think that in that case, scare them away that way?
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. About throughout the whole I was coming back from the dentist, so I want to do Invisalign. So throughout the whole punching process, when he connected, I was like, fuck, my teeth chipped again. Fuck this shit. First a volleyball, now a fist. I want to do Invisalign. Don't ruin it. Don't. Stop it. Stop it.
That was the first thing that Nigel said to me, by the way. He was like, yeah, as I was getting punched, like I just came from the dentist and I was like, oh, fuck. What if he ruined my teeth? And I was like, Nigel.
My teeth are very important.
Nigel. You said that, and then you said this, and then you talked about your reaction for when the police came to your house.
Oh, yeah. I called the police. They took a statement over the phone. Then they sent out 2 police officers as well to come to my place. And they didn't take their shoes off.
They didn't take their shoes off.
And then I was like, what's the protocol here? Can you tell 2 police officers to take their shoes off? I was like kind of gesturing at the pile of shoes. I was flexing my socks at them like, hey, 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 you see this? You see the no shoes? Hey. And they still didn't get the hint.
And then you said to me, it was almost worse than being assaulted.
I was assaulted once. Don't assault me again by not taking your shoes off. Just come in.
Oh my God. And did one of them recognize you?
Yeah, they've seen the Uncle Roger videos. And it's so funny too because they got so excited. One of them got so excited. Oh my God, that's you? That's you. Oh, and then she remembered where she was and what she was there to do. Oh my God, that's you? That's you? That's so do you remember anything about this guy?
But also like if there's anyone who's going to get attacked for being Asian, it's the most Asian man on the internet. Uncle Roger.
That guy might have even seen my videos. That's the sad part.
So you got attacked
by a fan, by a potential fan. If I were wearing my orange polo, he would have been like, Uncle Roger, hey! But I wasn't, so got punched.
Or he wasn't a fan and he's like, you know what you did. You know what you did. Don't insult Jamie Oliver.
I love chili jam. But he kept saying, yeah, I know what I did. And it's like the whole coronavirus thing. Or does he think I'm someone else? Did he think I was someone else?
Which makes it even more racist. But
yeah.
like racist upon race.
I don't think it was targeted because if it were targeted, he would have come better prepared, covering his face, wearing gloves so he doesn't leave DNA on my face. They had a DNA test.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so the 2 police officers came. So we talked a bit about the whole incident, and then one of them said, let's do a DNA test. Have you washed your face? And I'm like, yeah, twice a day. I double cleanse. Seriously. And then I thought, oh, that's not what she meant. That's not what she meant.
I follow a Korean skincare routine, actually.
Have I washed my face?
10 steps?
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I have a toner and a serum. Please, have I washed my face? Come on.
I'm Asian.
Yeah.
Hello.
Have I washed my face? Why don't you ask me dumb questions like, do you eat rice? Huh? Do you know how to use chopsticks? And then I thought, oh, that's not what she meant. That's not what she meant.
Oh my God, Nigel.
That's not what she meant. Like, I have concealer on. I just did an eye mask today. Have I washed my face? How insulting can you be?
I just ordered this box from Yes Style.
Yeah. This police officer just came in and just kept her shoes on and insulted my skincare routine. This is a hate crime all over again. 2 hate crimes in a day.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
But I realized, oh, that's not what she meant.
That's not what she meant.
She meant, have I washed my face since the incident so she can take a DNA swab for his fingerprints? I was like, oh, yes. That's the more likely rationale behind her asking that question. And then they had to take a photo for evidence, right? And then she said, at first she was like, oh, I really like your stuff. And I would ask for a selfie, but that's not very professional. Like, yeah, duh. You don't say.
With your broken lip,
Yeah.
with your like beaten up face. Yeah. This is me and Uncle Roger right after he got assaulted.
Yay!